Our next paper is on estimation of hydroacoustic signatures originated from ship's hull vibrations. The authors are D.M.T. Rasanayake and P.A.B.A.R. Pereira. The presenter is Lieutenant Commander Rasanayake of Sri Lanka Navy, presently serving as engineer officer on board Sri Lanka Navy ship Cyber. Joined Navy in year 2002 and earned his basic engineering graduation in mechanical engineering at Naval College of Engineering, INS Shivaji, Pune, India. Completed the marine engineering specialization in India. Initiating member of machinery testing and trial unit of Sri Lanka Navy. Is a chartered engineer and associate member of the Institute of Engineers Sri Lanka, associate member of Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka, a graduate in Institution of Marine Engineers India. Presently following an MPhil at University of Warragul, study on wave-induced hull vibrations.
Good afternoon, respected chair, respected panel board, and my dear friends. Today my topic is estimation of hydroacoustic signatures originated from ship's hull vibration. This has been a partial research outcome of my MPhil program, which is done under supervision of Dr. Ranjan Perla, University of Moratuwa. This is the sequence of my presentation. To start with, the origin of shipboard hull vibration is dominantly determined by the vessel's propulsion system, main machinery, auxiliary systems, pumps and braking of waves of the hull. All of these peripherals and systems origins the static and dynamic induction of underwater sound in water environment. As a source of underwater sound, individual vessels has displayed unique characteristics of directivity and diversity of hydroacoustic spectrums. These are the main sources of ship vibration. The propeller, which is a periodic vibration, engine and auxiliary machinery, which is a periodic vibration again, the effects of sea, which is a random vibration. The sources of ship underwater sounds are diverse and given source changes its sound output with the speed of the vessel. Therefore, ship noises are very complex and it is very difficult to be studied under normal circumstances, and we need very high-tech machinery. The machinery induced vibration. The machinery noise originates as a result of mechanical vibrations of the many devices listed in this, which are rotating and unbalanced shafts, repetitive discontinuities in the shafts, explosions in the cylinders while firing, cavitation and turbulences in the fluid form pumps and pipes, and friction in the bearings also. And you get the main source of vibration in the form of hull, and which comes the next incorporation is the propeller, which creates the highest vibration level to the underwater. As you see, this is the underwater aperture of a ship, the propeller and the rudder. They are the main characters of the hull vibration to the underwater. So what is the importance of studying this? When a Navy's goal is as the detection and identification of a vessel on the basis of its radiated hydroacoustic signal, we have to study on this. Navies of modern day are very interested in this topic in their studies of submarine related exercises. We being the navies, we should be quiet and silent as possible. The unique hydroacoustic spectrum generated of the may not unveil the ships present in that area. The present scenario, we can get the identity of the ship also. In this study, what we have done is, we have done the basic practical exercises and done the estimation with respect to the numerical relationship established using the Polish Navy research due to our technical limitations, the methodology we have attempted, we have used the fast Fourier transformation and analyzed the spectrum in low frequency range. This is the vibration analyzer we have used. It is of 0 to 40,000 Hz, and the considered range is 0 to 100, which is the low frequency range. And our averaging we have done is 5 times, and we have used a Henning video of fast Fourier transformation for data filtration to exclude the noises. These are the ISO standard measurement conditions, and we have conducted the C trials. It is a phi root test on a straight course, and we had a constant representative of this engine output. C state should be less than 3 or less. Full immersion of the propeller to be ensured. Water depth not less than 5 times of the draft of the ship. The measurement procedures, frequency we have to, this is as per ISO 6954. Frequency 1 to 80 that we have maintained. The measurements in all 3 directions of the XYZ. Measurement duration at least 1 minute. Result of everything should be analyzed in the root mean square value. Highest value in any direction is considered as the maximum value. These are the positions which we have recorded the vibration. As you can see on the mast, on the decks, and on machinery, and near after steering position. These are the frame numbers of the ship, and these are the locations where we have recorded our readings. These are the international ISO standards we have followed, and DNV standard also we have adhered. This is the ship, and the ship particular length of the ship is overall 102 meters, and breadth is 11.5, draft is almost 4.5 in the max, and speed 20 knots to the maximum, and this is the offshore petrol vessel. These are the machinery spectrum we have gained from the ship. As you see, this is the harmonics of the 10 Hz distance, and it is continued with the, this is the basically at the 600 RPM of the engine, and it is, we can exclude the auxiliary machinery readings also from this, but this is the repetition of a main engine spectrum pattern, which runs at medium frequency range also. When we consider about the hull spectrum, this is the hull spectrum at the low frequency range, and you can see the peaks of the harmonics which is coming out of the propeller. These are the harmonics, and we have recorded these things to establish the numerical relationship with the Polish research. So there's a thing called acoustic portrait. Acoustic portrait is your ship's vibration levels wherever the main peripherals are stationed. This is recorded in this. As this first one is at the 8 Hz shaft, and you can record the diesel generator initial peak at the next value around 820, and propeller blades, main engine, so on. So this is the acoustic portrait of a ship that we have to get as a result of our test. This static method was followed by Polish Navy, and what we have done is we have completed everything submerged in the above water, but we don't have the facility of this hydrophones array, so we couldn't do that. So that we wanted to relate this test with the Polish Navy. So what they have done is they have had a array of hydrophones, and the recordings were done as per ISO standards. So this will be the pressure region. This is the bow. This is the stern. As you can see, clearly see this ship is having 2 propellers, and the contours of the propeller area and at the bow area. You can see the pressures are here more, and it is predicted and displayed in this also. So these are with respect to the speed also. At the 4.8, 6.4, 7.6. This is the Polish Navy test results, and at the low speed, the spectrum density was more. But as you can see, the peaks are always displaying a unique identical characteristics. So we can exclude the factor that the spectrums varies from the speed factor. there's a link established from the called coherence function. Coherence function is derived out of the spectral densities of the signals of pressure and velocities, and it denotes the pressure ranges, and it is in between 0 to 1. So when it comes to with the frequency range we are adapted, the coherency fraction is running in between 0.8 to 1. The vibration on the hull is, this is in micrometers per second, sir. So it is running around 30 into 100 the maximum. So it was recorded 0.8 to 1. So noise frequency, always we can get the frequencies of the noises generated out of these equations, and we can establish a relationship called transmission coefficient of the mechanical vibration, which is alpha, which is given in this equation, and rho is the fluid density of seawater, v is the vibration velocity which we have that reading, and c is the propagation velocity of the sound wave. So it is experimental value of the rho into c is 1.5 into 10 to the power of 5, sir. To conclude the presentation, sir, the results of measuring vessel vibration suggest the main engine of the vessel is the biggest generator of the vibration of its structure. There are localized peaks in the low frequency and medium frequency that are of hull. So what is the importance of this to Sri Lanka Navy is that we can correlate these readings in our future readings, so that we can identify our ship's spectrum levels and acoustic signatures are in this category, so that we can estimate a value and have one day we can go for the submarine arm, then we can declare these are our readings, and with the use of hydrophones we can actually prove the numerated values with the practical values. So ultimately the values should be ascertained that these are up to the safety and habitability regulations of the DME standards also. These are the references I referred. Acknowledgement for Sri Lanka Navy and University of Moratuwa. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let us have the questions from the floor.
I can start.
Yes, please.
Interesting
Yeah.
presentation. Some comments more that you looked at low frequency, so I understand why machinery dominates, but as your frequencies increase, once you get to about 500, you're going to start getting broadband noise. So I think it's important to get broadband noise even at the low frequencies. You need to get broadband. So I think if you don't get that, you will find signatures are not. You will just get the narrowband monotone noise, which you need more. The second comment is with the prop. The two major criteria is one is cavitation. So you have to look at cavitation. Especially if you are below 5 meters, you've got cavitation. So you have to get cavitation inception speed, which is something that you have to look at. And the third one is trailing edge. Trailing edge is going to give a huge amount of drop down up to about 3 kilohertz maybe. Is there anything that you are doing in that area? Because there are empirical equations that enables you to calculate broadband noise from props.
Actually, the cavitation part, actually we couldn't cover it up with this area because we are practicing it at the deep seas. So we tried to exclude it with the available technical facilities. And the trailing edge part, actually we couldn't consider that is a very good guidance. We'll apply that. We'll try to apply that with the available technical details.
But even cavitation inception, you can, if you know your blade shape, you can try to predict the cavitation inception speed for your. And I understand you don't have range, so you can't. It's very interesting.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Just to clarify small doubts, some representatives have mentioned that this analysis was done in the C state 3 or less. So with regards to C states that are much more than that, what will be the effect of the vibration in the engine and the appendages with relation to this research, and is it a specific reason that it is done below C state 3 with regards to
Very good question as a marine engineering cadet, and we are following this test as per the ISO standard. So ISO standard says we have to conduct this test in below the C state 3. But we have done some practicals above 3 state also. When that is not recorded basically because it is not accepted norm. But when we compare the data with the C state above and C state below, what happens is the intensity will be a bit higher. So what we have to establish is whether it is acceptable to operate in that region. So that part I am covering in my field research.
One thing when you are taking this acoustic signatures, and main engine being the main major vibration generator, with the change of speed, the acoustic signatures change.
Yes. So the intensity starts to increase, but the spectrum shape keeps on.
Right, that will just do it.
Yes.
Right.
That's what we wanted to establish. The spectrum shape is constant.
Right.
Just coming down that, with the speed, as you go into high speed, you find more than the engine, the pressure fluctuations of the house, and the cost of these motors, they will dominate.
Yes, noise.
Once you get to say 10-15 kilos, you find they will dominate. Machinery noise will be,
Yes. What we have done is we have excluded that as a noise factor,
Yes.
and beyond around 500 Hz, we have neglected when we are considering the hull vibrations, hull signal.
So with that, we thank him very much for his presentation.